but she was shocked when her latest interviewer wasn't human.
I think it felt odd. I was caught off guard a couple of times.
Welcome to the interview for the Marketing Specialist 2 position.
A kangaroo, a job interview, and a glow-up. I think it's time to check in and see what AI is doing to our society right now, and this is the perfect week to do it because there are several stories that made headlines that is stuff we should be concerned about. At the very least, maybe consider some sort of protections to ensure our society is not sucked up into this world that is not real. Let me start with this emotional support kangaroo. This made international headlines because it was so convincing, including, I have to say, briefly, even I was fooled as I was quickly scrolling through social media. Once I stopped and watched it closely and listened to it, you could tell it's not real. But I think it's worth just sharing this and getting your thoughts in the comments below. If you're worried about these sorts of videos fooling millions of people. So first I'll play with the audio off, since I think there's a big difference when it's on. But two people arguing. This lady wants to get her emotional support kangaroo on the airplane, who's just really cute there, innocently holding the boarding pass. All right, let me now get the audio on, and it's a big difference. No. I don't know what it says about people that listened to this and thought it was real, because I think once you hear it, you can tell this isn't real, but it's almost bordering on discriminatory against Australians for how overtly like Aussie it sounds while not actually saying anything, just a bunch of gibberish, which you could argue there are sayings like visit the bottle or calm the farm, no wakas, that just sound like gibberish regardless. But clearly not real, despite fooling so many people. But this, let me add an extra layer here. As this video was shared on Twitter by the account Drama Alert, that it appears the video was taken down. But AI, or I should say Twitter, did correct it, saying that it is AI. But somebody replied saying, Grok, is this AI? So if you don't know, Grok is Twitter's AI model where you can ask it questions. Explain it to me like a caveman. Grok replies, like a caveman, saying, video show kangaroo with paper. Want go on Big Bird and Sky. Big Bird people say no. Is this magic picture from Smart Machine? Probably. Kangaroo not friendly for help feelings now. Rules say no. Kangaroo paws not hold paper like that. No true stories from big talk places about this. Looks like trick picture, maybe made by Smart Machine or for laughs. What are we doing, folks? We have AI describing an AI video in the voice of a caveman for some reason. So this leads me to Google's Veo 3. This is their new video AI model where you can type in a prompt and apparently get 8-second videos, because the amount of computing and energy it takes to process this stuff is absolutely insane, and is just adding to our climate situation. But I guess that's a different story, kind of. But they say here, you know, you can dream it, describe it, done, type in a prompt, create an anime video of an android, and they create the video. Just really, really wild stuff. And this has led to this. So Mashable shared a bunch of clips of Google's Veo 3 and what people have made it do. And some of the stuff is bordering on insane because they have now been able to add speech models to it. So speech is coming out of these AI videos in a way that I think is convincing to a lot of people.
Can you believe I'm here? This prompt made me say this.
Girl told me we're made of prompts. Like, seriously, dude, you're saying the only thing standing between me and $1 billion is some random text?
Honestly, the biggest red flag is when the guy believes in the prompt theory. Like, really? We came from prompts? Wake up, man.
You want to convince me that this perfect creation behind me is the result of ones and zeros? A binary code and nothing more? It makes no sense.
Imagine you're in the middle of a nice date with a handsome man and then he brings up the prompt theory. Yuck. We just can't have nice things.
We are on our way to Jurassic Park. I am so excited. I've always wanted to go, and finally we are doing it. It's gonna be great. Right, Jason?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay, bye.
All right, we're here. Please. Don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please.
All right. So while there are moments where these videos appear unnatural, eye movements, the way that some of those lines are delivered, the way that some of the people in these videos move, I can tell that a lot of that stuff is not real. But if the average person sees these videos, are they really going to be able to tell, especially if they're not looking closely, if they're just scrolling past, if it's on Facebook? I'm not sure if you've been on Facebook recently, but the amount of fake news stories propped up by AI images that are on Facebook is absolutely wild. Stuff that just completely made up, but they'll have an AI image. A lot of it, by the way, has to do with like Elon Musk. I saw one of Elon Musk buys The View, and it shows an image of like Whoopi Goldberg crying, and it's like the whole thing is so stupid. But these posts have thousands of likes. What's going to happen now when they have 8 seconds of video to work with speech? The stuff that people are going to be convinced of terrifies me. I don't know how we've gotten to a place. I mean, I should preface this. I do know how we've gotten to a place where there have been no regulations put on this. The amount of money and influence that corporations, including, of course, tech billionaires, have on politics has led us to a place where all of this stuff is going to continue improving, running rampant, taking jobs, and turning society even dumber than we already are. This gets to the next story that I want to touch on here, and that is an AI bot that was used to interview somebody. So I'm going to play this. This is a CBC News piece, a really good breakdown of how AI hiring bots are being used, and then I'll get to one of the issues that have come out of this.
Wafa Shafiq is used to doing job interviews online, but she was shocked when her latest interviewer wasn't human.
I think it felt odd. I was caught off guard a couple of times.
Welcome to the interview for the Marketing Specialist 2 position.
She says the AI agent was extremely polite, though she felt something was missing.
There's no small talk. There was no nothing personal, and I wasn't able to really tell if my answers were landing or not.
Thank you for taking the time to interview today.
Shafiq and other job seekers are sharing clips on social media. These AI hiring bots can now screen, shortlist, and even talk to job candidates.
Do you have any questions about how this interview will go?
I do think that this will become the norm for a lot of industries. So think like a manufacturer, really large restaurant chains, warehousing. These are all areas where it's often really hard to hire for those roles.
Ashram Garamani created an AI recruiter called Ribbon AI just 2 years ago and already has 400 customers. He says the technology works around the clock and frees up human workers from tedious tasks like scheduling.
I think AI will be extremely important in hiring in the future, but I think there'll always be a human in the loop.
Still, AI is reshaping workplaces. IBM is cutting 8,000 jobs, mostly in its HR department. For some applicants, AI can add confusion to the process. Maureen Green had to end an interview herself because the AI wouldn't stop.
So an hour in, I'm like, so I don't mean to interrupt, but, it's been more than half an hour after the scheduled time of our interview. I just want to be mindful of your time, even though I'm like, it's an AI agent.
I decided to give it a try and test Ribbon AI's reactions.
How much do you get paid?
Haha, well, I'm just here to help with the interview process, so I don't have a paycheck.
Turns out I wasn't qualified, but being able to impress an AI could end up a critical skill amid predictions the technology will lead to more job losses. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
And job losses are really only one of the worries around this sort of AI hiring bot. Another issue is potentially discriminatory. So I'm going to get to that story in a second because there's a lawsuit around a different AI interviewing model. But look, for me personally, I have to say this might actually benefit someone like me just because I am terrible at job interviews. I don't feel like I can really be myself when I first meet somebody. So I always feel unnatural and awkward in a job interview. So if you're just looking at, if the AI model is just looking at your, your qualifications, and it's hard to know what else you're going to get, or what the AI bot is really going to glean from a job interview. Maybe some personal anecdotes are going to be written down to show to the person that is actually going to do the hiring. So there's still going to be a person involved. An AI isn't hiring you, but this does potentially impact the kinds of people that are going to be filtered down to the person that will make the decision to end up, or in who they end up hiring. Case in point, this lawsuit that is now going on. Federal court allows collective action lawsuit over alleged AI hiring bias. This bias over age discrimination. So, as CNN writes here, together the plaintiffs, all over the age of 40, claim that they submitted hundreds of job applications through Workday. So, Workday is the AI model that's being sued, and were rejected each time, sometimes within minutes or hours. They blame Workday's algorithm, which they claim disproportionately disqualifies individuals over the age of 40 from securing gainful employment, while it screens and ranks applicants, the court documents state. So this is where I have to wonder if this was programmed in and not necessarily just the AI model itself, because there are people behind these AI models. It's not, you don't just give birth to an AI model and it just does whatever it does. You can put restrictions on it and want it, program in that it leans to certain kinds of individuals over others. But there is this worry where if you don't have an actual person doing the job interview, you're going to end up in a situation where the AI model is going to, based on averages, lean towards a certain way. And that appears to be what, or at least allegedly, what is going on in this case. The last story that I want to touch on in regards to AI is ChatGPT being used for glow ups. So, Washington Post headline here: "Am I hot or not?" People are asking ChatGPT for the harsh truth. This is just, we're going to get to a place where we all look the same, right? Is that where we're going now? Is AI just going to be telling you, hey, you should look more like this, and we're all just going to slowly end up looking exactly the same. But people are uploading photos of themselves, asking for unsparring assessments of their looks and sharing the results on social media. Many also ask the bot to formulate a plan for them to glow up or improve their appearance. Users say the bot in turn has recommended specific products from hair dye to Botox. Some people say they have spent thousands of dollars following the artificial intelligence's suggestions. So here is one example of this woman on TikTok, Marina. I'll just play a bit of her experience here. It's a long video.
That I asked ChatGPT to get my basically free glow up that I posted a few days ago. First things first, I uploaded a picture of myself without any makeup and natural lighting, and I asked it to do a color analysis. It came back with some general information telling me that I'm a cool to true summer, basically just telling me that I have cooler undertones and that's what's gonna match me the most. And then I uploaded a picture of my hair roots and I asked what was the best hair color for my skin tone and my face shape as well. It came back telling me that my natural hair color would suit me the most because I have very cool toned hair. I went to Pinterest and I found some hair inspo and I uploaded I think like 5 pictures and I asked it which one would suit me the most, and this is the one that it told me to do.
So I have to wonder how this is working. It certainly seems like to me that potentially the AI model, trying to find the image, is looking for someone that sort of looks like the person that uploaded the image, and maybe make like a celebrity and making recommendations based on how that celebrity looks, because that's how this is coming off to me. How else is AI judging beauty standards? I assume it's based on averages. So the averages being, hey, what do celebrities look like in their best case? These are people who are paid to look good. How do they look? And each of us are going to slowly end up going down the lane of the person that the celebrity we look closest to, and maybe just end up imitating how that person looks, because it's just it's a very bizarre thing to ask a computer what you should do to improve how you look, which also gets to potentially some underlying influences as AI companies begin to offer shopping and product recommendations. Chatbots might also push consumers to spend more, according to analysts. AI, quote, just echoes what it's seen online, and much of that has been designed to make people feel bad about themselves and buy more products, Forrester commerce analyst Emily Pfeiffer said. When you start including, hey, what companies is this AI company? What beauty companies are they aligned with? Are they pushing some of those products now? When you ask these sorts of questions, these are the influences that potentially are going to be a part of these AI models. I want to know though, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. What aspects of AI do you like? Do you use? Do you reject? Do you want us to see completely reject as a society? Do you think there's any hope or any true regulations on any of this stuff? I do have a little hope when it comes to humanity and our ability to reject things that we feel aren't beneficial to us or society. Look at NFTs, NFT art. That was supposed to be the next big thing, and it completely died off because people saw no real value in it. Is that going to happen with some of these, at least some aspects of how AI is being utilized? I don't have the answers there, but I'd love to know your thoughts below in the comments.